Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you all to the North Carolina Department of Transportation's virtual public meeting for the North Chatham Parkway, also known as State Transportation Improvement Program Project number R5930. My name is Jamil Robbins. I am the Public Involvement, Community Studies, and Visualization Group Leader with the North Carolina Department of Transportation, and I will be your moderator for tonight's meeting. Now, the purpose of this meeting is to share information and gather input on the North Chatham Parkway project. Now, your input is extremely important to the development for this and any other DOT project. All comments, no matter how they are submitted, carry the same weight. We have provided you multiple ways to participate in this process, and you participate by making your voices heard. And you can do that by, one, submitting your comments tonight in the chat box or during the public comment portion of the DEQ hearing. You can also go to the project's public input website or send an email to the address north-chatham-park-way@publicinput.com. If you're not a big fan of computers, you can call your comments or questions in using the toll-free project hotline. That is 984-205-6615, and type in project code 8027. And if you have a carrier pigeon, you can send that in too. But really, the point is really just to stress the importance of getting your feedback into us. And this meeting will be recorded, and we hope to place the recording up on our webpage. And again, the comment period ends February the 7th. Now you may be asking yourself, what are you going to do with the input that we receive? Once the comment period is ended, we'll hold what is known as a post-hearing meeting. The meeting is attended by NCDOT staff from various branches, all of which have had or will have involvement with this project. At this meeting, we'll discuss all the comments that have been received during the comment period, and we'll incorporate those public comments into the design of the project where feasible. But I want to be clear that the department cannot just take public comments into consideration in making these decisions. We have to balance that against good, sound engineering criteria, such as safety, which is our #1 goal. We also look at impacts to the natural and human environments. We have to look at operations as well as costs. So it's a balancing act, but it ensures at the end of the day that we end up putting the best product on the ground for the citizens of North Carolina. Now, the proposed improvements are consistent with the long-range transportation plans for the local municipalities within the study area, local governments within the Triangle J Council of Governments, as well as NCDOT have included this project in their adopted plans. Let's talk a little bit about the why of the project. And in transportation terms, is known as the purpose and need of the project. So currently, US 15501 is the only major north-south route through the town of Pittsboro, which funnels all traffic through the historic downtown area. With new development in the area, traffic has increased and creates mobility challenges in downtown Pittsboro. Traffic volumes on US 15501 currently range from 8,400 to a little over 18,000 vehicles per day. These traffic volumes are projected to basically double by 2045. Widening through downtown is not expected to be feasible due to impacts to properties and historic resources. US 15501 is also a nuclear evacuation route. So to meet this need, the purpose of the North Chatham Parkway is to support the economic development within Chatham County associated with the planned Chatham Parkway, the Chatham Park, and other nearby developments. This includes improving access and mobility for emergency vehicles and school buses to and from the developments. An additional benefit is improved regional mobility by providing an additional connection between US 64 bypass and US 15501. So Chatham Parkway is a proposed north-south connection around on the east side of Pittsboro. The first segment from US 64 business to just north of the US 64 bypass has been constructed as part of the adjacent Chatham Park development and is now open. This project, known as North Chatham Parkway, will be a 2.7 mile new road that begins just north of US 64 bypass and ends at US 15501 near Russell Chapel Church Road. The southern portion, the South Chatham Parkway, is known as State Transportation Improvement Program Project number R5963. It is scheduled to begin several years after the North Chatham Parkway project. Right now, right-of-way is currently scheduled to begin in the spring of 2024, with construction slated to begin in the spring of 2027. Let's talk a little bit about the typical sections, or basically the various cross sections of the roadway that is being proposed. From the US 64 bypass to the proposed Grant Drive extension, a 4-lane median divided roadway with curb and gutter and a 10-foot multi-use paths on both sides is proposed. And this would feature 2 12-foot travel lanes in each direction. Now, from the proposed Grant Drive extension to US 15501, the typical section is proposed to transition to a 2-lane median divided roadway, again with the 10-foot multi-use paths on both sides. But this would feature 1 12-foot travel lane in each direction. Now, please note the multi-use paths are preliminary and subject to a municipal agreement with the town of Pittsboro. Now, throughout the development of this project, every effort was made to avoid and/or minimize impacts to the greatest extent possible. Where feasible, the alignment minimized the extent to which properties were divided. A narrower typical section was applied north of the proposed Grant Drive. Again, we transition from a 4-lane to a 2-lane design there. The design also incorporates steeper slopes and a narrower footprint at the stream crossings. As a result of these efforts, the project is anticipated to impact about a little over 800 linear feet of streams and result in no impacts to wetlands or other protected resources, community facilities, or homes or businesses. Preliminary cost estimates have been prepared for this project. The estimates are as follows. Right-of-way, we estimate a little over $2 million. For utility relocation, around $100,000. With construction estimated around $15.9 million, which yields a total cost of just over $18 million. A tentative schedule has been developed for the next steps of this project. Following this meeting, comments will be summarized and design revisions incorporated as practical. The environmental document known as the State Environmental Assessment and Finding of No Significant Impact, or the State EA-FONSI as we affectionately call it, will be prepared for the project this spring. It summarizes the proposed action and the environmental effects of the project. The project is expected to go to the right-of-way acquisition phase in the summer of 2022, with construction planned to begin in the spring of 2023. Keep in mind, these are tentative dates and are subject to change. Now, the designs for this project, the location and the designs of these projects are on what we call public meeting maps. Each map includes color-coded legends that represent the proposed improvements. A video describing how to read these maps is available on our project's public input webpage. But the project consists of two maps. The first map is the beginning of the project from the US 64 bypass, the proposed Grant Drive extension, and map 2 runs from there to the end of the project at US 15501. Sorry, I got tongue-tied. Again, map 1 is the 4-lane median divided cross section, and map 2 is the 2-lane median divided cross section. And in closing, we'll just close out by talking about right-of-way procedures. Once decisions are made regarding the final design of the project, our location and surveys unit will go out and stake the limits of the project in the ground. If you are an affected property owner, a right-of-way agent will come out to meet with you. They will explain the plans to you, how it affects you as a property owner, and your rights as a property owner. If permanent right-of-way is required from you, then an appraisal will be done. Based on that appraisal, a right-of-way agent will make a written offer to you. That written offer will be based on the current market value of that property at its highest and best use. Now, in this process, the department must treat all owners and tenants equally. We must fully explain the owner's rights. We must pay just compensation in exchange for property rights. And we must furnish relocation advisory assistance. That is, if your property, your home or business has to be acquired for this to construct the project, and you're being displaced as a part of the project, then additional assistance in the form of advice and monetary compensation is available to you. But if anyone has any detailed right-of-way questions, I suggest you contact our division right-of-way agent, Mr. William Scholl. He and his staff are very knowledgeable and very good at what they do, and they can let you know what you should expect in that process. So with that quick presentation, we're done. I just leave this up for a second. This are project contacts. This information is on the project website and in the project handout. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Ian.